Hi, this is Bonnie, and I wanted to show you some new projects that I've been working on with my We Are 3 digital paper. I specifically made this paper for one of the image, which was this image right here, and then for an event that I was participating in. But I was so excited because when I started creating these books, these mini albums, these are like 4 inches. I always had to come up with an idea for the binding, and so for my paper I decided to go ahead and make book bindings, and that's what's kind of special about the paper that I created. But I'm going to go ahead and show you each one of these books and the paper that is included in the paper collections. First of all, I'm going to start out with Once Upon a Time. This is actually the entire paper on the back of this is part of the paper itself. And I can show you the sheet too in a minute. And what I have done is I have taken a Miss Daisy Stamps image called Happy Spring and colored her up, cut her out, and put her on the cover of this mini album. Added a fence to the side. But this paper, I also made it look like it's curling up. It's just to look that way. And then this is the binding that I'm really excited about. Each one of these collections has 4 choices for your book bindings for when you make your mini albums or your flip books. And then what I'm going to go ahead and show you, and then I'll tell you a little bit more at the end. I'm going to show you a tutorial on how you can make these, and they're really pretty quick to make them. So I have an inside flap, and each one of these papers is in the collection called Once Upon a Time, and they're available at Miss Daisy Stamps, and I'll have that at the end of the video, and I'll also have it down in the description. So anyway, all these papers are striped paper. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a hint of daisies in there. And same with this paper, there's a little bit of daisy look to that. This right here has some words from a book, and this one's just a little bit more distressed. If you can see the distressing in it. And then more of the daisy background. And then this one's got the trees with a little hint of pink to coordinate. And then I have some dots, and again it's a little bit slightly looking distressed, and then I get the pink again. And then just like I said, it just flaps. There's a flap that goes in, and actually one of the things that I have used that I find is a really nice closure, and I told you about that in another video, is I use a Velcro closure, and they're sticky back, and it seems to work really well. So that's the first book, and again that paper is Once Upon a Time. And then the next book is the one I had with a little mouse. This mouse is from Miss Daisy Stamps, and it's called Mouse Elf. And for a limited time, if you see this video before, I think, September 14th, 2016, this image is $1. So you might want to quick get to Miss Daisy Stamps because it's really a sweet little image to color. So this paper is called Storybook Christmas, and again it's same concept with it looking like the page is opening, and the background is got the story from 'Twas Night Before Christmas, because you know about the mouse in there. And again I use that Velcro, it works really well. And then this is the bonus image. When you get the Mouse Elf image, there's also bonus images. I'm not sure if they're included in the dollar image, but if not, you can get this as the set later. Inside of this is again the paper that is from the Storybook Christmas. The background paper here, I actually cut this out of this paper to make it go on top of one of the papers. Then this is one of the papers from the collection. And then there's red with a snowflake background. It's actually just little dots. You can use it for any paper, but it's to look like a snowstorm. And then this one has a house. A house looks like snow on it. And again, the same effect with the snowflakes. And that's just a duplicate page, so I just duplicated it. I'm trying to think. This paper yeah, I think there's 8 pieces in this collection also, and also there are 4 different book bindings in this one. So, oh yeah, there's one other piece that's in this collection. I'm trying to see, I need to count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6, 7 I didn't show you, and then the book binding is 8. So there's 8 in this collection. The one that's not in this book is because it's another cover. It's this one right here. But that's included in the Storybook Christmas collection as well. So in order to make this book, what I did to make those books is what I did is I resized my paper. My paper comes at 6 by 6 inches, and I resized them to 4 by 4 inches. And just to make the covers, not including the inside, you will need one 4 by 4 and then one 4 by 4 for the back. And when I say back, I should show you what I mean. This is the front when I start, and then this is like the back, inside back cover. But you can always put one on the very back too. This one doesn't have one. I don't know if I did. I didn't do one for either one of these books I just showed you. But the other thing you will need is for the Christmas one, and this one, I am going to be using the Merry Christmas. On the other one, it said Twice the Night Before Christmas. And honestly, to be honest with you, this one right here also comes, the one that's on the Once Upon a Time, this one also came with the Storybook Christmas. The ones that are in the Once Upon a Time, that's the cover I just showed you. These are the book bindings for the Once Upon a Time, and you can see there's 4 different ones there. So again, get back to what I was saying. In order to make a book, you need a cover and a back cover, and then a book binding. The inside of the book, I did something completely different that at the very end of this video, towards the end of this video, I'll show you a tutorial how I do the insides to make the pages. The only other thing you will need for this is a 12 by 12 is all you really need. You could actually make 2 book covers with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you can also make the insert for the inside to make your pages. So you can make 2 books with one 12 by 12. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this together for you and show you step by step for the tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this so far, and you stick around to see the tutorial. Thanks. Okay, so this is the tutorial part, and I already showed you that I cut this out 4 by 4. I changed the size of it 4 by 4, and I cut that out. And just to let you know, this is how the book is going to go. So when you go to put this on, make sure you put it on the right side of your paper, not on this side, because this is the front of the book. And oh, the paper is a full 12-inch length, and this is 4 1/4. You can always put your paper on and cut it afterwards if you want to make sure you know your dimensions, but it was 4 1/4 by 12 for what I used. And then I went ahead and I cut out my book binding, and I went ahead and thought I'd wait to show you how I add. This is very similar to what a lot of the girls are doing on YouTube. It's not anything new, not really, other than that I actually created a book binding instead of making one up. I'm just using regular quick tacky glue from Aleene's, is that how you say her name? And oops, I want to put that on top of there. I don't want the glue. And then all you do is you allow just enough space to be able to make a crease. If you can see that, pull it up a little bit. I line up the top and I line up the bottom, and I just leave enough space right here to make a score line, a little bit more than a score line. And then this handy tool that my friend bought me to take stuff off of Cricut mats also works really well for, oops, I scooched it and I didn't mean to, for sealing the glue to the paper. You just go like that, you rub it, burnish is what they call it, and that works really well. So here's the trick. Not that this paper can't go on this to be the back of the cover, but I do it the inside cover so I know where my flap will go. I do it this way. I just do it on the inside. So in order to know where the inside is, I get out my Martha Stewart score, and I line this up because it's not, whoops, here's my, I line this up, it's not going to be the same, so I have to find one that will line up because it's a little bit off from an actual score line. And I try to make sure that the spot up here lines up with a spot down here. And I think that looks good. Just a minute here. Yep. There we go. Sometimes eyeballing it isn't always the best. And then, so then I come to this side, and that will be my other crease for my book. So I think you can kind of see it. Now, like I said, I could go ahead and put it on the back side. It doesn't really matter, it's just how I do it. And then I do the creasing. I usually like to wait a little bit till my glue dries a little bit more than that, but anyway, that's how that goes. And then so that I know where I'm going to be putting my other crease here, I go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to move my scoreboard out of the way just for a second. It's just too much stuff for me in one place. All right. Let's get this on. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just gluing. It's typical. Not tons of glue because it'll ooze out the side like glue always does and gets on everything. And this has no direction to it. So I just line it up, allow that little bit of, oh, you know what, I forgot to tell you. I can't put this on yet. I forgot this part. This is an important part. And that's why I didn't do it yet, because I need to know where that goes. So the inside of the book for my pages, you have to make this accordion style insert for the inside of where you put your pages. And because I wanted to use a 12 by 12 paper and not cut out another piece, this piece is actually 4 by 3.5 inches. So yeah, 4 is the longest, 3.5 is the shortest. So then what you do is you take this to your scoreboard and you score it. And you can see I have a bunch of lines here because I was just messing around. But I have the correct measurements for you. So the first one is 5/8, then it's 1 inch, then it is 1 5/8. Oh, no. 5/8, 1 inch, 1 3/8 inch, 1 5/8 inches, 2 inches, 3 3/8 inches, 3 inches, and 3 3/8 inches. So I kind of messed up on that if you can't see it. But anyway, the purpose for this totally is an accordion. And you know, everybody's made accordions before, but the deal, accordion folds, the deal is this is what your page is going to glue onto. But you have to allow for space in between each one of these flaps. That's the only deal. So you can make really any measurements you want to, as long as it will fit into your book when you go to make it. So again, it has to look like this. And how do you keep these together? Well, everybody online is showing you how to do that on Facebook too, but I'll go ahead and quickly do it. All you do is you use double-sided tape. It holds it better, score tape, and you just put it on one side of your score. And usually it's the larger side, like see? So then on this side I want to put it on large, and you'd be able to see this better if I had scored it a little bit better. But you do not want to put it on that little itty bitty part in between the accordions that stick up. I think you'll see what I'm saying. I'm more of a visual person than I am one to read directions. I have to see it, but when my score lines aren't the way I want them to be for the video, it doesn't make me very happy. So back to the front. I want this piece to line up. I want this piece to line up, and this piece. Okay, so we've got that. Do you see what we have? That's what we have, and the pages are going to attach to this part that sticks up. It's really kind of cool, and that's what fits in the center of the book, and that's why I had to have that in the center first. So just to secure it really well, as you can see, this is what it looks like on the back side. I'll lay it down a little bit flatter for me. Okay, you need more score tape. You can also use glue, but I find that things that need to be secured really well, I tend to want to use my double-sided score tape. This stuff is amazing. I remember when tape used to first come out and you couldn't tear it with your fingers. You had to cut it every time you wanted to use it. And score tape is amazing. And it's strong. You can even, I even made crafts with kids before. I mean, that's not unusual. I love to make crafts with kids, but we actually, you know how hard it is to get glue to dry when you have kids and they're trying to make projects at school or wherever. I found that the kids could use score tape and get things to be more secure than trying to use glue and watching all the stuff fall off. We used, you remember clothespin dolls? We made a clothespin doll one time, and instead of gluing everything down and waiting for it to dry, we used double-sided tape. And it adheres perfectly to fabric for, you know, what the craft is. I mean, if you want it to be a permanent, long-lasting one, maybe with fabric it might, but I found using the double-sided tape, even on my cards with lace, I've not had any problem with it staying down. So, tip, if you ever work with toddlers and you don't want to watch all of their stuff falling off and waiting for it to dry, if you wanted a quick craft, I would suggest for you to use double-sided tape. So, okay, so again, I'm going to turn this back around. See, that's the front. This is the inside of the binding. This goes down in between the inside of the binding because it's going to hold my pages. And you can see it's a little bit shorter than the top and the bottom, but that's okay because it matches. So that's how that goes down. Make sure it lines up, and those are where your pages are going to attach to. It's really cool. I had to put more glue on that red piece for you to show you how this goes over. Why you have to put that center down before you put your inside paper in, so it can cover it up. See, it'll cover up this part right here. Alright, so I'm lining that up. So I have just a little bit away from the score line. Okay? And I'm just kind of do it with my hands, and then I'm going to use my tool to make sure it stays down well. You're also going to have to score again that part we just scored right here because we put that middle piece down to put our pages on. So anyway, now I know where I'm going to have this flap in. And I'm not going to completely make this because you don't need to sit here for 20 minutes. But I'm trying to give you the idea. I'm hoping that you can do some of this stuff on your own. Okay, scooch that over just a tad because I want that to pull in. And I want to make sure that it lines up with the front. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and score these two like I told you. Line that up. So it's up and back. Here we go. Okay. Is that lined up? I don't know if I did that right. Hold on. Whoops. Okay. This paper's a little, it's more of a harder, more stiff paper. Okay. So again, I've got that recreased. I got that one recreased, I believe. Okay. Yeah. And it's going to fold over like that. Oops, sorry. I'm looking down and I forget to look through the camera to see what you're seeing. And that's going to fold in like that. And you can see how the pages are going to go inside of there like that. And then this one's going to attach. And again, I showed you at the beginning, I just use a Velcro. So that's the basic construction. And in other videos, I've showed how to attach the pages to this right here. But I just was so excited about the fact that we can make it actually have a book binding, and it looks like a little book too already for you printed. So again, I'm going to show you the other one, how that went together so you understand that flap. So there's our flap. The flap goes, once you put the pages down, it goes in and over, and it attaches with a Velcro. Um, and here are those pages and how those pages look attached. And all they are really are double the width, and you add a little bit of an edge, and you make kind of like a, I want to call it a, it's almost like even, it's not an envelope, but it's more like a top and a bottom with a little, and then you put it through like that. There's like, it's just basically a, if you can see what I'm saying, and just that piece slides down over one of those little parts that are sticking up on here, and you glue that to each page. Now the other deal is a lot of people will put stuff inside of here, or they'll put a flap coming out, so you can even put more pictures. So it's really cool. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it didn't take you too long. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Facebook, Miss Daisy Stamps, or We Are Three Digital Paper. And don't forget, you can get your products at Miss Daisy Stamps. Thanks for watching.